Hi everyone, my name is Mitchell Walker with the University of Illinois Extension, SNAP Education, and today we are going to make some grub. We're going to make carrot zucchini bars. It's a super simple recipe. We're going to take some ingredients, mash them together, and toss it in the oven. Step one, we're going to introduce all of the supplies that we'll be needing to make this recipe, but before anything else, we need to wash our hands. As always, when handling food or touching things that will eventually touch your food, wash your hands. I've already done so we can go ahead and get started. Alright, so what shall we need to make carrot zucchini bars, you ask? We will need a couple mixing bowls, the pan in which to bake the carrot zucchini bars, a cheese grater, paring knife, spatula for mixing, a whisk for mixing, and some measuring cups and measuring spoons. You'll also need a clean surface to work on, that's why I have my cutting board here, and if you're messy when you make food like me, maybe an apron. Okay, so the ingredients. We're gonna need 1.5 cups of flour, we're gonna need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, we're gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, we're gonna need 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, we will need 2 large eggs, we'll need 1.5 cups of carrot, shredded, and 1 cup of zucchini, shredded. These are essential for this recipe. We need 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar, we need a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, we need a 1/4 cup of honey, and lastly, I like to add a little cinnamon. You don't need much, and it's not in the recipe, but it just gives it a little extra zest. A 1/4 teaspoon will do. We also have the option to add walnuts. Now, in our household, we've got one who is allergic to walnuts, so we use pecans, and it tastes just as good. So we'll be adding a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans as well. Okay, now that we know what we need to make the recipe, we can roll up our sleeves, get our hands dirty, and start actually making the recipe. Step number 1, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. That way it can get preheated while we're combining all the ingredients. Step number 2, we are going to combine all of the dry ingredients first. I've gone ahead and pre-measured everything. As a general rule of thumb, I like to pre-measure all of my ingredients before making the recipe anyway. It just saves a lot of stress when, food's cooking and you're trying to level off a cup of flour or whatever. So we'll go ahead and combine all of our dry ingredients. There's the flour, the baking powder, the baking soda, the ginger. I'm usually a little generous with my ginger because I like the taste so much, but that's your call. Okay, we're also going to add our 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon at this stage too, that I mentioned earlier. Now that they're all combined, mix them up. Now that we've got our dry ingredients combined, we can set that aside and move on to the rest of the ingredients. We're going to start with the carrots and the zucchini. Now is a good time to wash the produce, run it under cold tap water, and scrub it with your hands or a vegetable brush to make sure that all the dirt and bacteria are off of there. So with clean vegetables and clean hands, we can start to peel the carrots. This is where our paring knife comes in. And as always when you're cooking, make sure you're practicing good knife safety. So having a firm grip on the knife, keeping your fingers out of the way, and with the motion of the knife moving away from you, we can start to peel our carrot. And with our carrot peeled and the ends cut off of both of the zucchini and the carrot, we can proceed to shred our vegetables. So a nice firm grip on the vegetable, nice firm grip on the cheese grater, gently and carefully move the vegetables across the grates. This will depend on the size of the produce that you're using, but it took me about 2 carrots to make 1.5 cups of shredded carrot, and about 1 zucchini to make 1 cup of shredded zucchini. With our vegetables shredded, we are ready to combine all of our wet ingredients. And whisk them together. Now that our wet ingredients are all mixed together, we can go ahead and combine them with our dry ingredients. There we go. And now you'll just want to stir it all up until it is just combined. And now that our ingredients are fully combined, we can go ahead and mix in our chopped pecans or walnuts if you are fortunate enough to not have that allergy. Now that those are all mixed together, we can pour them into our baking pan. Now I'm using a 9x13 baking pan, but if you like these bars a little bit thicker, you could use a smaller pan, or if you like them a little thinner, an even larger pan. Okay, once that's all in there, spread it out evenly throughout the pan. Then we're going to pop it into the oven for about 30 minutes, and we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, cooked for about 30 minutes. I took that opportunity to clean up my kitchen, which was a disaster because of this recipe. And behold, doesn't it look good? I wish that you could smell through a video camera because it smells fantastic and I can't wait to dig into it. This recipe was adapted from the University of Illinois Extension's Eat, Move, Save website. Go on there, check it out. There's tons of really great recipes like this one. I hope you enjoyed it.